This is moving now. Phones buzzing in Allen Park, boards getting erased and rewritten, and a window that looked like a crack this morning is suddenly wide open. If you care about January football, about what travels when the wind turns mean and the lights get colder, you're going to want every piece of what I'm about to lay out, because the next decision in Detroit's secondary could tilt the whole season. Here's my promise to you up front. I'm going to break down the real why behind the chatter timeline. Scheme fit, cap math, what it does to our coverage toolbox, how it changes Dan Campbell's Sunday attitude, and what it means in the division where every third down is a fistfight. No spoilers. First, we set the table. Then we eat. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report. If you live for Detroit football and you want the story before it turns into a headline, hit that subscribe, ring the bell, drop a like so this reaches more diehards, and let's get to work together. Context matters. You don't chase a corner just to say you chased a corner. You do it because the calendar is nasty, because offenses in our path layer speed on top of speed, and because our standard under Aaron Glenn is aggression with brains. This defense wants to dictate, not react. When Detroit is at its best, the front squeezes the pocket from the inside out. The edges keep the cut clean, and the corners live in that uncomfortable place where you either trust your technique or you get exposed. That's the bar. That's the job. So what breaks when you're thin outside? Everything. The rush arrives a half second later. Your safety help starts cheating to protect leverage. The slot can't sit in his chair and trigger on the crosser because he's peeking out the window. Yards after the catch wash over you like a slow leak. You keep it close for 45 minutes, and then a 3rd and 8 go. Ball turns your week into a film session of could-haves. This staff refuses to live there. They will be proactive, not nostalgic. Profiles like the one we're discussing today exist for exactly that reason. To let you keep your personality when the stakes rise. You want a corner who can play press without panicking, who understands when to open and when to stay square, who recognizes root stems before they flower, and who's violent enough in the run fit to make offensive coordinators think twice about turning quick game into an extension of the run. You want a closer with good eyes, calm feet, and short memory. You want a grown-up, and you want a fit, not just a name. In Detroit's world, that means the ability to live on an island when we spin late and mug the A-gaps, to travel with a WR1 when the plan calls for it, and to blitz from the boundary without telegraphing it. It means tackling like a linebacker in the flat, owning the red zone, and competing at the catch point with hands, not hope. That's the checklist. There's also the market logic. When a contender has a need and another team has a blue-chip cover man in a scheme transition or cap transition, the league starts doing the math for you. Day 2 draft capital becomes the language. Cash and guarantees become leverage. And the clock is everything. If there's a window, you jump now so he's in your building for the stretch that actually writes your story. Don't forget culture. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have built something you can feel during warm-ups. Accountability that doesn't need a speech and joy that doesn't undercut discipline. Any veteran walking into this room has to amplify that, not just ride it. The right guy makes your meetings sharper, your practice reps louder, your rookies calmer. He gives you that "we're good" look in the huddle after the offense just scored and the stadium. Once a quick stop. Cap-wise, Detroit can structure smart. Front load, back load with rolling guarantees, shorter years with option triggers. There are multiple ways to take a premium perimeter defender and make him fit a window that includes paying your own. That's the benefit of a healthy roster build. You're not shopping hungry. You're shopping targeted. All right, cards on the table. The news is this. The Lions are pushing to land Sneed from the Titans, with internal green lights aligning and real momentum building toward bringing him to Detroit. That's the move being driven right now. Sneed to the Lions. Let's be crystal clear on language, because words matter in this business. We are not talking about an official team announcement or paperwork stamped by the league office. We are talking about a targeted, aggressive pursuit with organizational alignment in Detroit. A player profile that checks every schematic and cultural box. And a trade framework that's realistic enough to be live. In plain English, it's on the tracks. The train hasn't hit the station yet. Why Sneed? Because he fits the way this defense wants to win in January. Press man? He can live there. Red zone knife fights? That's a Tuesday for him. Run support from the corner? He plays it like he's being graded by linebackers. Blitz timing? He doesn't broadcast he arrives. And when the ball is in the air, he treats the catch point like a 50-50 is 60-40 in his favor. That's not highlight fluff. That's drive-killing behavior. What does he unlock here? First, matchup freedom. You can travel him with the top dog, or you can park him on the boundary and tilt coverage away from him to squeeze in-breaking routes. That frees your nickel to be a true aggressor, lets your safety spin late without panic, and keeps your front from having to win in 2 seconds every snap. Second, third down personality. Dial up simulated pressures and mug looks without paying the tax of soft zones behind them. Sneed lets you bluff and still play honest. How about the room? Pair him with your young stud on the other side, and suddenly everything calibrates. The ladder of responsibility falls into place. Veterans don't have to overextend. Rookies don't have to pretend. In meetings, a guy like Sneed gives coaching points credibility because the tape in the room backs it up. On the field, he gives you that snap where a quarterback takes half a hitch because the first window isn't clean and half a hitch is all a Dan Hutchinson needs to ruin your afternoon. Costs and structure. Let's talk like adults. This won't be a bargain bin acquisition. You're likely looking at day 2 capital with conditions. Maybe a pick that escalates on playtime or team success. Contract-wise, Detroit can protect itself with roster bonuses and year-to-year flexibility while still showing respect to a proven corner who's done it in big moments. With the cap rising and a core that's largely homegrown, you can afford a premium piece at a premium spot if it moves you from dangerous to inevitable. Timeline matters. Every practice Sneed would miss is a rep you don't get back in November. The earlier you land him, the sooner he speaks the same language as your safeties. The sooner he feels the landmarks at Ford Field. The sooner the communication goes from shouted to subtle. And subtle is what wins on 3rd and 6 when the OC across from you is stealing tells. Risk. It exists. Corners age in dog years that they lose trust in their feet, and any acquisition at this level tightens your margin. But the counterpoint is strong. Detroit isn't trying to learn how to win. Detroit is trying to finish. Adding a closer at corner isn't a luxury. It's a completion of the blueprint. It's the last bolt in a cage that already holds. Now, the Tennessee angle. Why would they listen? New direction, asset timing, and honest self-scouting. If their window doesn't align with his prime, a clean, high-value exit is responsible team building. For Detroit, that's opportunity. For Sneed, it's oxygen. A defense that will actually weaponize what he does best instead of asking him to wear 2 many hats while the structure around him learns on the job. There's a human side we can't skip. Guys like Sneed change how a sideline feels. When your offense stalls for a quarter, a veteran boundary who clamps the top read turns a wobble into a reset. When your special teams flips the field, a quick 3 and out with a contested ball on the sideline tells your building, we're fine. Confidence is not a speech. It's a pattern of stops. Game flow chess. With Sneed, you can start the game an honest man. Shift to match in the second quarter, flood underneath in the third. Then bring heat on a surprise down late all without substituting tells. Coordinators hate that. Quarterbacks hate that more. And let's be real about January. The NFC isn't going to hand you open windows. You'll see elite timing routes, back shoulder shots, option routes where the ball is on the receiver before the crowd inhales. In those moments, coaching points fade and habits stand up. Sneed's habit size, hands, finish, dash, travel. So where does this land? If the last piece's compensation clarity and contract contours snap into place, this is the kind of move that announces you're not just defending a good season, you're building a dangerous postseason. It says to your locker room, we'll match your standard with ours. My opinion? Straight and simple. Sneed to Detroit makes football sense, locker room sense, and calendar sense. It's the right kind of aggression for a team that isn't window shopping anymore. And important, this is speculation grounded in fit, timing, and league logic, not an official transaction. Until ink meets paper, call it what it is, a live, serious possibility. Not a done deal. Now it's your turn. Detroit, would you send a day 2 pick and pay premium money for a closer at corner if it means tilting January in our favor? Do you see Sneed as the right tone setter for Aaron Glenn's unit? Or would you ride internal growth and keep the powder dry? Tell me in the comments. Let's get this right, like a city that's done waiting.